Hey guys, I'm Matt Hernandez, and today I'm going to show you how to get rid of flyaway hairs in Photoshop. So one of the most annoying things with retouching, in my opinion, is fixing flyaway hair, especially if the photos are backlit. So right now in Photoshop, I've got pulled up a shoot with my stepdaughter that we did at sunset in a field, and so she's got blonde hair, so that's a perfect example of worst case scenario for flyaways. So, and hers weren't even that bad, but when the hair is backlit like this, it makes it stand out a lot more, especially if it's lighter hair like this. So even if it doesn't look bad when you're shooting it, a lot of times in post, you realize that it could be better. So fixing the hair in post can be really infuriating. I used to do it by hand and draw hairs back in one at a time. And so you have to go in and clone out the flyaways and then redraw them basically, which that was the best way to do it if you're anal like me and you want everything to be perfect, and that is extremely time consuming. So thankfully, I figured out a better way to do it with generative fill. I've done another video on content aware fill and it did work, but this works a little bit better now. So, and also this example is a little bit more extreme than the one I used before. So let's look at what we've got here. I've got this narrowed down to her favorites, and there's several, like this one would be a good one to do. So here's a good one to use. This is an example of when I looked at this in camera, it did not look like that big of a deal because it's small. But then when you get on the computer, especially when you zoom in, you can see it's an issue for sure. So it's not the worst, but definitely these need to be tamed quite a bit. And the problem is you can't just go in and trim just a few of these because they're all intertwined. So it ends up becoming a big mess. And a lot of times you get to the end and you realize that it looks worse than it did when you started, or it looks completely fake because you've done too much. But it's really hard because all the hairs are intersecting and going over each other. So let's go ahead and look at this in Photoshop. Okay. So there's the original, and there's what I ended up with. All right, so let's look at how I got to that point. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that layer. So I've got this actually built as an action, which I highly recommend any kind of steps that you do in Photoshop that you're gonna repeat and do things over and over and over, record them as an action, because then you just have to press play and the next time it'll be a lot faster. Even if it's, just like 3 steps, it really helps. So let me show you how to do that real quick. So this little play button here is your actions. And if it's not open, then you can go to Window, Actions, and it will pop it up. All right, so you can see I've already got it named Flyaway Hair Removal right here, but I'm just gonna walk you through how to do this. So I've got a folder, MHC for Matthernandez Creative. So when you click on that, you can make a new folder down here, but so I made that for my actions that I created. Right there. So inside I'm gonna hit the plus button and we'll say Flyaway. If I could spell Flyaway 2, Flyaways 2, okay. And you can also set a function key to like F1 or F whatever, and that will, if you just press that on the keyboard, it will automatically run the action. I don't typically do that, but if you have something you run all the time, then that could be beneficial right there. Okay, and so now we're gonna hit record. So it's gonna record every step that you do until you hit stop. So the first thing I wanna do is press W for my quick selection tool, and then go over to select subject. Make sure that cloud is selected, which in Photoshop, in the updated version, it should be selected. That gives you a better selection. Hit select subject, and I also have enhanced edge select too. So it's gonna select the subject. I actually accidentally hit it twice there. All right, so now we've got the subject selected. So I don't want it on the edge of the selection, I want it expanded. So the next step is go to select, modify, expand. And then I'm gonna do it by 20 pixels. Hit okay. All right, so now you can see that it's got her plus some extra space selected, because if you don't do that step where you expand the selection, then it can give you some weird stuff sometimes. So if you get another person that's fake, when you do, we're gonna use generative fill. I didn't mention that, that helps to know. If you don't have it selected correctly, then it can put another person in there, which is not what we want. I want the background to be filled in here. So that's the point. And then we're gonna go back in and mask in the background where we want it to get rid of the flyaways rather than cloning it. That's the easier way to do it. So that's why we're expanding the selection. Okay, so what I wanna do here to help is I wanna go to my lasso tool, and I'm gonna hold shift, or you can go up here and press this little second button on the top here, and that's got the two squares overlaid, and that's gonna add your selection. So that little plus is popped up by the lasso tool. So we've got the areas in between her arms there, and then we also want to make sure that on the outside of her hair that there's nothing that is exceeding the selection. So I'm just gonna kind of go and even expand this a little bit more around her head. We want everything that we can selected so we don't get anything weird. And get the bottom of her boots here. So now, press Command 0 so I can zoom out. I'm gonna go to Generative Fill, hit that once. I'm not even gonna enter anything in the field. I'm just gonna hit Generate. So if you've got enough selected, then it should just fill in the background. That's the point of this. Now, again, if you don't have enough selected, sometimes it'll put another person in there or something weird. So you have to make sure that you've got the right amount. Okay, so that did a really good job there. You can see it's a little bit more blurry right there. Let's look at the different options we have. That third one is the best, I think, and that will work. So I'm gonna hit that little button right there on the top left of the thumbnail to enhance my detail. I don't know that it's gonna do much. There's not a whole lot of detail because it's out of focus anyway, so. But that looks pretty good. It's maybe a little bit more blurry, but no one's ever gonna notice. Because what we're gonna do now is, I've got that layer selected for Generative Fill. I'm gonna press Command G to group it. And then in my preferences, I've got it set up to where I've got a shortcut for a mask, which is Shift Option Command M. So it's gonna make a white mask. And then we're gonna hit Command I to inverse it. So now I'm gonna zoom in. I'm gonna get my brush tool. And so there's different ways that you can, we're gonna brush that background that we just generated back in on the flyaways. So you can go in and kind of try to take off the areas. So if you press Control Option and go to the right, it makes your brush bigger. To the left, it makes it smaller, and then up makes it softer, down makes it harder. So I don't want it to be 100% hardness. You can go in, so I've got it like, what is that, 90, 96. So you can go in and paint it just like this if you want to. Sometimes the background, when you use this technique, isn't gonna line up exactly right. You can see it's a little bit brighter here than the original, so it's not gonna look 100% like I want it to. So what I would probably do, you can go through and fix it this way if you want, but I feel like it's gonna look a little bit too uniform maybe, and it's gonna miss some spots, like right here. You can see it's darker than where I masked it back in. So what I would do is, let's make a new mask. What I would do is get the pen tool, and I'm not gonna go into an in-depth tutorial on how to use the pen tool, but we can do that some other time. But you want path selected. I'm gonna click here, and then I've got, up here in the options, I've got the exclude overlapping shapes. So if you draw two shapes over each other, it will make that, it'll make a hole, it'll subtract from the larger shape. So I'm gonna zoom in to 400%, and I'm just gonna, when you click and then pull, it makes that arc bigger, and then when you hold Option, it takes away the arm on that one side, so that it's gonna make your angle basically back to where you can, the next point, you can put it anywhere you want to. It's not gonna make an arc with the path in between. So I'm just gonna trace around her hair here. Just kind of loosely. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to go back in. And so we're taking the flyaways away, and then we're going to go back and we're going to add them back in. So then if you hold Command, then your little white arrow comes up, and you can move that point where you want it, and then start drawing again. So you could use the lasso tool for this. You could use just the brush by itself. There's a number of different ways you can do it. I've used the pen tool enough that I'm very confident with it, and it's faster for me to do it, and I get a better selection. Some people may not be as confident with it, and they may want to use just the brush, and that's totally fine. So I'm gonna close that path. So now if we go to our Paths tab, then we've got our work path there. I'm gonna double click it to save it. I'm gonna say Flyaways. Okay, now it's saved, and I'm gonna press Command and click. And then I'm going to press Shift Command I to select an inverse, then B for my brush, and then I'm going to paint the background back in just where I want it. Right along edges there. Okay. All right, so I'm going to make it softer now, and then just so it's not too abrupt, the transition there, because the background didn't fill in exactly like the original photo. So, okay, so now if I hold Option and click on my mask, you can see how it's softer around the edges there, but it looks pretty natural, all right? You don't want it to look like you brushed it back in, is the point of that, okay? All right, so I'm going to press Command D to deselect now. Okay, so now, obviously that looks fake. We can go double click on the mask and then get our properties box and then feather it like 1 pixel maybe to make it softer. Still looks fake because there's absolutely no flyaways there. So now what we want to do, I'm going to go back to my path and I'm going to click on it, and let's duplicate this, okay? And then on this one now, I'm going to make a point just here on this, on the connection. I'm going to hit delete, so it's going to delete that, and then now I'm going to go, and actually I'm going to press A for my direct selection tool, and I'm going to select those 2 points on her shoulder and get rid of those, and then get rid of this one as well. So now we've got the 1 point here on the edge of the hair that goes behind her back, and the other point here. So I'm going to press P for my pen tool again, click here, and so now I'm going to make a path just in the general area that I want her flyaways to be. And this is probably too big, so I'm going to press A for my direct selection tool and then bring that back in a little bit, just so it's not too wide. Okay, so now, that's probably too much area. I don't want the flyaways to be out of control again. So when we add them back in, okay, so now, so I've got I've got a second path here. If I press Command and click on it, it's going to make it my selection, and then let's go to Generative Fill again, and I'm going to just type in flyaways. And every time I've done this, it's worked. Hopefully it does this time when we're recording. A lot of this has to do, though, with the selection that you make. That's Photoshop, that's going to determine how well it does with the generative fill. Okay, so that first one didn't do much. There, that second one is much better. So that second one is good. Now, so I think that's pretty good. We can also always hit Generate again. So select the one that you want. If you're not 100% happy with it, or if you want to just see if there's another, it can generate a better one, then hit Generate again once you've got that one selected. So let's take a look at our new options here, and none of those are better. So I think that first one, that original one, is the best, and that looks pretty realistic, I think. So when you zoom out, and that's always zoom in and zoom out just to make sure that it looks good both ways, because sometimes when you're zoomed in too far, things look good, then you zoom out and you realize that it's not quite as good as you thought. So to me, that looks pretty good though. The only thing left that you could do if you wanted, you can see there's a little bit of a halo around her. Not really a halo, but you can tell where that was generated. So if you want to make a blank layer maybe, then you can select maybe the stamp tool and just make it real soft. I've got 20% flow selected so that it paints in the same area. When I paint the same area, it'll build up. So if I click here and just draw in circles, it's going to build up a little bit just to kind of make sure there's not a big halo surrounding her. And you may or may not have to do this step. It just kind of depends. So with that off, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a line starting to form around her there. And now with that, we kind of got rid of it. Maybe draw a little bit more right here. Okay. All right. That looks pretty good. Much better than the original. Which that's not that bad, but I've seen a lot worse situations. There's a couple Little League pictures I've taken this year that have been pretty bad because it was really windy. So, and there's nothing you can do about that. So this kind of thing is good to know how to use whenever you have to have it. So, all right, that does it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notified when we post new content. There's going to be a lot more to come. See you next time.